Thanks for tuning in to GoPowercat.com. Yet another commitment call. I'm joined by Friday's newest addition to the 2021 class, RJ Garcia, coming to us all the way from Tampa, Florida, courtesy of Zoom. RJ, first off, as you can see, I'm outside. We just got done. My family had some tacos. The weather is great here. Did you have anything kind of planned, a little celebratory dinner on your end now that you're a K-State Wildcat commit?
Yeah, for sure. My family, we've known probably for 2 days now, and just, after doing my online visit with Coach Klein and all them, I kind of knew that where my heart was at. So, I told my parents that it was probably going to happen Friday or Saturday. So, obviously, my mom wanted to make it a special day all around. Obviously, it's already special because, I'm a cat now. So, that's in itself makes it a special day. But, yeah, we have a special dinner, steak on the grill. So, it's definitely going to be a great night for sure.
Now, who cooks on the grill? Is it you, your dad? Who's the man behind the fire, I guess?
It's definitely my dad. He's really good on the grill. He makes a nice steak. So, I'll give him props on that one. He definitely taught me everything I know about grilling a steak. He does it pretty well.
Now, your dad is a former Division I basketball player, I believe, from the University of Florida. What would you say you pick up most from your dad? What has he carried on? Has it been anything athletically, things that you take from a leadership standpoint? What have you kind of taken from your dad as an athlete?
I look up to my dad probably the most anyone in my life. I owe him everything that I have just at itself. But, I just picked up his competitive nature and leadership skills. That's something that I've always envied of him since I've been a little kid. He always loved to win and would do anything to win. And he was always a great leader. He's been a high school coach 20-something years ever since, him and my mom got married. In 1999, he was at Sickles when it first started. But that's something I just learned from him is his competitive nature, his willingness to win and do whatever it takes. And that's something where I feel like that's how I really separate myself from people, is just my competitiveness and willing to win. That's something I got from my dad. I'm sure it's not hereditary or whatever. I feel like I've been around that all my life, that competitiveness and just trying to get after it. And I feel like I can bring that to Kansas State and it'll help me.
Now, you're 6'1", you've got some length, and we'll get to a little bit of that on the football field here in a little bit. But was there ever a point in your kind of sporting life, your sporting career, that you thought maybe basketball might be your option?
Yeah. When I was younger, basketball was probably my first love. When I came out the womb, I had a basketball in my hand, and my dad likes to say he gave me an animal, gave me a stuffed basketball, just trying to make me love basketball. I love basketball still. I watch basketball all the time, but football is obviously my love, and I love it a lot. I play high school football and play college football for Kansas State. So, I love football, but yeah, basketball is great, but I'm a football player now, so it's whatever.
So are you still playing basketball then at Berkeley? Because I know your dad is the head coach down there, or are you completely solely dedicated to football right now?
Football is my passion, and that's what I'm going to work at. But I'm planning to play my senior season for my dad. I've played for my dad all my life, and I owe him one more year, and I owe myself one more year to try and win as many championships, as many games together as we can. Never in my life am I again to play for my dad. So I want to play one more year, and just have the good times again, one last hoorah, I guess.
Now, while we're on the topic of basketball, I'll kind of bleed it into football with this question then. One-on-one, who wins on the hardwood between you and Josh Youngblood?
Oh, me for sure. Josh likes to talk about his basketball like he was a scoring kind of guy. He always likes to talk about how he had 18 versus the national team. That was the most points I've ever seen Josh hit ever in my life. So I definitely will beat him in a one-on-one in basketball. He's a great defender. I'll give him that. But I don't know. He can't score, and I'm just as good as defender as him as he thinks he is. So I feel like I can score on him, and he can't really score or shoot, especially not being at Kansas State that long, just playing football. So I know I can just sit in the paint and let him shoot threes all day. I just get the rebound and go crazy on him. So I definitely think I can win. But if you ask him, he'll definitely say he'll win. So
I was going to say I'm going to have to ask him now.
Yeah, he's definitely him.
Well, speaking of Josh, I'd heard, obviously last fall became, a fan favorite in Manhattan with everything that he was able to do on the field, just electric, very dynamic player. But I'd heard that he's kind of been pushing the K-State coaches to actually offer you all the way back in like November, October. Obviously, the coaches decided to wait. They have their reasons until I think 10 days ago. But have you been hearing from Josh a lot about Kansas State? And have you been hearing from Josh about, hey, I'm really trying to talk to the coaches about offering you? I mean, how long has this kind of process been unfolding between you and him?
I mean, yeah, Josh is obviously he's like an older brother than me, and he's really we've been best friends for a long time. So I mean, obviously, when he got to Kansas State, junior year, even sophomore year when he was a senior. As soon as he got up to Kansas State, he tried to tell the coaches about me. And I mean, Coach Ray has been on me probably since the beginning of the school year this past year. So I mean, they've been on me for a long time. I mean, they didn't choose to offer me real early, which I mean, I get. Everybody has their reasons, and I wasn't ready yet. I'd even say myself, just for that kind of magnitude. So I mean, I just feel like, yeah, they waited, but I mean, I love Kansas State. I love everything about it. I love the coaching staff. So I mean, well, however long they waited, I was willing to wait as long as I could get the opportunity. I mean, obviously Josh definitely pushed his hand, trying to get my name in the hat, and I mean, obviously in the end it did work out that way, and I'm glad it did.
You mentioned Coach Ray, and I know Coach Courtney Messingham, the offensive coordinator, was involved as well. I guess, was there one of those two, maybe both, that you felt like you really bonded with, and what was it about your relationship with the coaches that kind of helped you, I guess, speed up your recruitment a little bit? Because, like I said, I mean, they offered, and 10 days later, you're now a commit. So there had to be something special with the coaches.
I mean, I definitely feel like for honestly, I've talked to those coaches the longest throughout the whole process. Although I didn't have an offer for that long, but they carried the recruitment process like as if I had one. So I felt like the whole time I was really getting to know the coaching staff and getting to know them for like just not they were getting to know me not just for a football player but as a person. So I feel like it was kind of a mutual thing where we are both learning a lot about each other, and I felt really comfortable with the coaching staff, and I felt like it was a really family oriented program and a place where I feel like I could succeed. And Coach Kleiman coming in, I mean, he's a great guy, and he seems like, when Josh had surgery, he had him at his house and make sure he was okay and stuff like that, and took care of him. So I feel like he's definitely a family first guy, and he cares about his players. So that's something, a culture that I definitely want to be around, because I feel like I can succeed in that. I feel like that's important. That's how you win games with great people.
Now you're a guy that, at Berkeley last year averaged almost 25 yards a catch. So with Kansas State, obviously, they're kind of a smash mouth offense, but they want to spread the field vertically. Was that something that Coach Ray and Coach Messingham really liked about you on tape, was just your ability to create distance and separate from cornerbacks, really stretch the field for them, even though they are kind of a run first offense?
Yeah, sure. I feel like that definitely did help me. Coach Sal and the Berkeley Prep coaching staff, we run a really tight offense as well, kind of like that. Or we're a ground team. We run a lot, but that helps us win, and I'm fine with that because I mean I like to win, like I said. And if I only get the ball twice a game, but we win by 21 points, I'm cool with that because I like to win. But I feel like, yeah, that definitely did help. And the whole time I've always played in play action offense where I've kind of gotten vertical balls. And that's kind of what Kansas State does. They do play action passes and throw it deep and try and get yards on after catch. And that's something I do well. And I feel like that definitely did help me.
Yeah, I was going to say you kind of got into it there, but tell the fans a little bit more maybe about the strengths and weaknesses of RJ Garcia's game right now, and kind of your goals for the upcoming season to prepare you for K State.
I mean, I feel like one of the best things I am at a receiver is catching the ball, creating separation, and just route running in general. I jump pretty high. I can get balls up top, so I feel like that's one of my strengths. Weaknesses, I mean, obviously right now I'm 175 pounds. I got to work on getting my weight up. But I mean, just through this little January to May month, I've gained probably like 10 pounds. So I mean, I can gain weight quickly. I've gotten a lot stronger and faster. Obviously, there's countless or multiple areas everybody can work on their game, just get better on. So I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep working, and I just want the fans to know that I'm a hardworking kid, and I'm just going to work hard and do everything I can to help the team win.
Any secrets to putting on 10, 15 pounds of good weight, good muscle? What's your diet look? Is it a diet thing? Or are you kind of just dedicating more time to the weight room? How have you done that in the last couple of months?
I mean, I've been eating a lot, drinking protein shakes, and just lifting and running a lot. I mean, yeah, at first it was like, gosh, this is a lot, but I mean, it's definitely worth it. I want to be great, and that's the sacrifice I kind of have to make, just getting bigger, because that's some things people say I'm a little bit too small on the smaller side, and that's something I don't like to hear. So definitely try to work on it. I mean, I'm 6'1", kind of lean guy. I'm naturally kind of, a little bit skinny. So I definitely want to work on my frame. I've gotten a lot stronger, a lot bigger. So it's definitely something that I need to work on, but I'm working on it right now before I even get up to Kansas State. And I mean, for the high school season, we're trying to win a state championship. I mean, I don't really care about my personal goals. I mean, obviously it'd be nice to catch however many touchdowns, but I mean, if you don't catch all those touchdowns and you don't win a championship, it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. So I mean, the only goal we have as a team and I have as a person is to win a state championship.
Yeah, a couple more stakes, to get a state title. That's well worth it, I think. And you know, going back to your recruitment a little bit, offers from Iowa State, Rutgers, Navy, Air Force. There was FBS and Power Five interest there for you, but when you talk to coaches maybe that hadn't offered yet, what do you think it was that's kind of held you under the radar? Because I was talking to someone from 247 Sports today that just flipped your film on today after you committed, and they were telling me this guy's a 4-star talent. Like, what's going on here? So what do you think the reason is that maybe kind of helped you slide under the radar and maybe become a big time sleeper for this K-State class?
I mean, I just feel like I'm kind of Berkeley prep. We're not really a pass first team, throw it a lot, but I mean, that's okay by me because I like to win games. I mean, Coach Sal always says, we do what the team needs to win. My dad kind of says that same thing too. So whatever the team needs me to do, I'm going to do to win. I mean, and kind of, I'm not a said 4-star talent, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, when you get to college, those stars don't matter. So once you get there, everybody's the same. You just got to work hard. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I did kind of go under the radar, but I mean, God has his plan for me. And I mean, that's cool by me if I can go under the radar because I mean, I ended up where I wanted to end up. I mean, if you can say under the radar, if that's under the radar, but I mean, at the end of the day, I ended up where I wanted to be and I'm happy with it. And I don't care how I got here with this process. I mean, it was a good time to me. I mean, obviously recruiting at first, like in the early months, it's kind of fun. You're like, wow, this is cool. Guys really believe in me and they think I can help them win. But I mean, kind of when it gets later in the year, it kind of gets crunch time and it's a business. So, I mean, I kind of slipped under, but I mean, that's fine. And I mean, I ended up at Kansas State and that's kind of where I wanted to be all along. So, I mean, it's definitely a blessing.
Did you think that that your recruitment would end this early, or do you think did this whole COVID the restrictions and the pandemic maybe alter your mindset a little bit? I mean, you mentioned you wanted to be at Kansas State no matter what, but I just wasn't sure if maybe you would have liked to have had a visit maybe beforehand, or if like I said, maybe things had to be sped up a little bit.
I mean, things with Corona for everybody, it kind of sped everybody up a little bit. But I mean, my plan always was to commit before senior season. Obviously, I would have loved to get up to Kansas State and seen it for myself, just from a standpoint of just seeing it for yourself and not having other people tell you and show you videos about it. So obviously, I would love to get up to Kansas State as soon as possible. And if I could have before, I mean, it definitely would have helped me. But I mean, either way, I was gonna commit to Kansas State. Either way, if I didn't see it or did not see it, because I mean, I have Josh up there, I know Malik, and I mean, they speak highly of it. And Coach Kleiman's a high character guy, and so are all the coaches on the coaching staff. So I feel like it was a home away from home kind of feeling. My parents are really comfortable with me going there. I mean, it's far away from Tampa, Florida, but I mean, they're comfortable, and I feel like it can be a home away from home for me. It's definitely Manhattan's a college town, and I love kind of the vibe you get. Josh talks about all the time. Yeah, people say, oh, Manhattan, Kansas, it's in the middle of nowhere, but everybody loves Kansas State and Manhattan, Kansas. Can't love anything else. So it's definitely something I'm looking forward to get up to seeing and feeling it.
Were you able to do any sort of virtual visit with the coaches over the the last week or so?
Yes, sir, I did. I did a virtual visit Thursday with the coaches, and I also did I did multiple FaceTimes with coaches, and they showed me the facilities and showed me just things that I'd kind of do in the daily life of a football player at Kansas State. So I feel like that definitely did help me make a decision because without that, I mean, I don't really know what would happen. So, I mean, those videos definitely did help me in the process.
When you think about the Big 12, what excites you about that? What do you know about the Big 12? What have you kind of learned about K-State and that conference, just kind of in general? Because I know it's a long ways away, but it's still major college football.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a college football nuthead. I mean, me and my family every Saturday we get on the couch and watch as many college football games as we can. So obviously, I know a lot about the Big 12. I know a lot about Kansas State. I mean, the Big 12 is a prestigious conference. You have Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas State, Kansas, Baylor. Ohio, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. So I mean, there's schools, Baylor, and you have a bunch of schools in there who are prestigious schools, and Kansas State is one of those schools, and it's definitely I mean, the big being in the Big 12 is definitely something that excites me for sure.
Here's something that I'm curious about. What was your commitment like to the coaching staff? Did you call them? Walk us through maybe how this all like really went down. I would imagine, with Coach Bratt, if you told him, there was probably a lot of excitement on his end. He's a guy that gets really fired up to send out that bring on the Cats tweet. So yeah, when did that all go down? And maybe, were there any memories from when you told them that you were going to commit?
I mean, yeah, I called Coach Kleiman, and first I called my high school coach and let him know, and he said, "Yeah, it's a great fit. I feel like you do good there, and go ahead and just call the coach." He called him. I mean, I called him and told Coach Kleiman he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic. He was fired up. And then in the background, Coach Brad Taylor, he's screaming in the background, jumping around. They're all excited. So I mean, it was definitely cool. All the coaches said congratulations. I talked to most of the offensive coaching staff, and yeah, it was a great time. It was definitely an experience I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Well, to wrap things up, we'll have a little bit of fun here, just to let fans kind of get to know who you are as a person and as a player. So before we hit the record button, you were telling me that you've grown up in Florida. Great day. What's life like just growing up in Florida? The ability to go to the beach. What kind of things do you do kind of off the football field that are fun to you and hobbies for you and your family?
I mean, me and my family, we're not really big beach people, believe it or not. But I mean, we love getting in the pool. I mean, it's always hot down here in Florida for the most part. Weather's kind of crazy sometimes. It'll be sunny, and then you turn around, look behind you, and there's a storm coming in 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes later, it'll all be gone. So, I mean, Florida's definitely kind of bipolar weather, but I mean, it's beautiful down here. I mean, you get to go in the pool, you get to fish outside. It's hot. I mean, you get to do a lot of different things, and you get to go to the beach. You get to do I mean, in Tampa, we have Busch Gardens, so like roller coasters and stuff. So, I mean, I definitely like to hang out with my little brother and my friend Trey that I've been friends with since I've been 1 year old. So, I mean, we all just kind of hang out a lot and, just kick back and relax, get in the pool, play a little video games, go outside, shoot some hoops, throw the football around. I mean, it's kind of everyday life in Florida. It's just hot and, you go outside and do a lot of things and a lot of things with the water and people have boats. Jet skis and stuff like that. So it's definitely fun down here in Florida for sure.
How about entertainment wise? When it comes to music, movies, video games, you mentioned, any favorites for RJ Garcia?
I mean, video games wise, I mean, I play Fortnite. I try to not play video games that much, but I mean, I like to play Fortnite. I play with Josh sometimes. He's not very good, but I mean, I'm better than him in Fortnite. And music wise, I listen to rap, Gunna, Young Boy, stuff like that. But I mean, entertainment wise, I like to watch football, watch old. I've watched old Kansas State games with Coach Klein, a quarterback. So I mean, I've watched stuff like that. So I mean, I just kind of I like watching football. I play Madden, Fortnite. I just like to hang out with my friends and just kind of lay back a little bit.
Yeah, on tape, actually, you talk about watching old K-State games. You remind me of a former player named Jermaine Marrera that was actually from Florida and came to Kansas State in the end of Bill Snyder's first tenure as head coach. Do you have kind of a favorite player, whether it be at K-State, NFL, college, just a guy that you like to watch, a guy that you like to emulate on Friday nights?
I mean, when I grew up, my dad he played for the Gators, and I mean, I went to Florida Gator games all my life. I mean, I was a big Percy Harvin fan. I mean, Percy Harvin was kind of like my idol when I grew up. I remember one time we were walking through the swamp, and me and my dad were walking, and Percy Harvin was walking there, and people were stopping and asking him for autographs. I was like, Dad, you played at Florida. Why don't people ask you for your autograph and stuff? So I mean, and I got a picture with him. I mean, it was pretty cool to meet him. I mean, I like Tyler Lockett too. I mean, obviously, he's a legend at Kansas State, and I mean, plays for Seattle Seahawks. I mean, he gets me a whole bunch of fantasy points. So I love watching him play. And I mean, those two guys. I mean, they're both elusive with the ball in their hands, and at any second they can score. So I mean, I definitely love watching those two play.
Hey, big Percy Harvin guy here, big Tyler Lockett guy. Percy helped my Seattle Seahawks win a Super Bowl, so I will always love Percy Harvin for that. I guess to wrap things up, RJ, what's today been like from the Kansas State fan base? Has your phone been blowing up? Has Twitter exploded on you? And I don't know, just what are you most excited about after today, having seen, the reaction of fans and just the way that the players like Josh and them are just so excited to have you up there.
I mean, it's definitely nice to see that the fan base is just so strong and kind of crazy. I mean, it's awesome to see them in the comment section going crazy and stuff like that. So I mean, the Kansas State fan base is definitely stronger than I even imagined. Kind of. I mean, obviously coming from Florida. I mean, obviously I know about Kansas State because of Josh, but I mean, you really don't think. I mean, I'm all the way down in Tampa. They really can't know me that well. So I mean, but they showed a lot of love and support. I mean, obviously. On Saturdays they pack the stadium. So I mean, I know they're a strong fan base. And I mean, it was definitely cool to see them really supporting me today. And also the players, them retweeting my stuff and saying, welcome to the family and stuff like that. And even the commits in my grade, kind of just talking to me and saying congratulations. So it's definitely a family, a whole big family vibe kind of. And it's definitely good to get that because I mean, that's not everywhere. That culture's not everywhere where everybody's one big family. I definitely enjoyed that, and being a part of it for one day, definitely excitement. I can't wait for the future.
RJ Garcia, thank you so much for taking some time here on this Friday night to hang out with us at GoPowercat.com and take part in this Zoom call. So the Berkeley Buccaneer trend just continues on in Manhattan. So we'll do this for the fans here at the end. Let's throw up a little EMA, and thanks again so much, RJ. Appreciate it.
Go Cats.